Have you ever said no to a parent or a loved one and then instantly started spiraling for hours or maybe even days, just replaying everything you said, wondering if you were too harsh, feeling sick to your stomach like you had just betrayed them? Me too. And for years, absolutely years, like up until my mid-30s, I thought it meant I just wasn't ready to set boundaries. But what I didn't know was that the guilt wasn't proof I was doing something wrong. It was just an old emotional pattern keeping me stuck. Today, we're kicking off a 4-part series called When Saying No Feels So Wrong. In a previous episode, I'll put somewhere here or in the show notes, I introduced you to the 4 emotional patterns that keep us stuck: guilt, fear, confusion, and reversal. But I wanted to go deeper. So in this series, I'm going to walk you through real life stories and nervous system responses behind each pattern so you can finally shift them. You can finally break free. And so today in this episode, we're going to start with the big one. We're going to start with guilt. I'm going to teach you how to spot the difference between healthy guilt and inherited or conditioned guilt, because that shift changed everything for me and one of our listeners named Alyssa. So let me introduce you to Alyssa. She's 35, works in healthcare, and she's the kind of person who remembers everyone's birthday. She also makes sure that she shows up for everything because she knows what it feels like to be left out. But last month, she just had a busy work schedule, not a lot of breaks, and she told her mom that she wasn't going to be able to come to her family barbecue. It was just her one weekend that she had off and she needed to rest. Her mom responded with, "Well, I guess I'll just be alone again." Cue the spiral, right? Alyssa immediately started second guessing everything. She texted 3 times to try to soften the no. She even checked the train schedule, like maybe I could just go up for a half a day. She knew the boundary was fair. She knew what she needed, but the guilt in her chest made it all feel so wrong. And here's the thing, Alyssa is not weak. She was just running on an old pattern of inherited guilt. And in a minute, I'm going to walk you through the same questions that her and I walked through together that really helped her understand, okay, this is what I'm going through, and this is what I'm going to do next, and how to feel really good and confident about her decision. But before we do that, we need to talk about, why do these patterns run so deep? Like, guilt is part of our wiring, but not all guilt is created equal. Some guilt is healthy. It brings us back to our values. It keeps us being a good person. But other guilt, inherited conditioned guilt, that lingers. And it lingers because it doesn't match our truth. It matches someone else's unmet needs. What we're really experiencing in those moments of just intense, torture, for me it was torture, is called emotional enmeshment. And it's when we feel responsible for someone else's disappointment more than our own peace. And if you're wondering, well, maybe Alyssa was being selfish, and maybe you wonder that about yourself, I know I did. That's exactly the kind of guilt inherited patterns feed on. And it wasn't that Alyssa didn't care, it was that she was finally choosing not to abandon herself to make someone else comfortable. So here's the 3 questions that I walked Alyssa through and that she is assigned to do every single time before she changes her mind. Number 1, is this guilt helping me realign with who I want to be? Or is it just pulling me back into an old identity? Number 2, if I change my mind, would it bring me peace or just silence someone else's discomfort? Now, if the guilt still lingers after that, she pauses, she steps outside, reconnects with nature, puts her hand on her heart, little pressure, and she says, guilt isn't proof that I'm doing something wrong, it's just an old reflex. If that doesn't clear it up, she comes back inside, purges it on paper, does a little voice note. Just getting it out of your head in some way gives her all the clarity she needs. If still it's sticking around, she has one third powerful question that she asks herself. Would I feel relief to cancel this boundary, or would it just temporarily numb my discomfort? Because peace and avoidance, that feels different in my body. Like, one helps me breathe and the other makes my chest really tight. And before I wrap up, I'm going to tell you what happened when Alyssa didn't go to the barbecue. She didn't cave, and how her mom actually responded, because it might surprise you. Being a good daughter, son, sister, friend, it doesn't mean being your loved one's emotional regulator. It means being a honest, present, grounded version of yourself. And when Alyssa chose that path, her peace grew. And guess what? Her mom didn't cut her off. She didn't come back with backlash that time. She didn't guilt trip her again. She texted the next day, "I hope you had a restful weekend." That was it. Like, there was no blow up, there was no estrangement, just a shift that really gave Alyssa the confidence to keep honoring her boundaries even when it felt so hard. So if this is hitting home, or if you're like, I don't know if it's exactly guilt that I'm feeling something and it feels really wrong, take our free quiz. We made a quiz to help you decipher which emotional pattern out of the 4 is keeping you stuck. And then at the end, you can download our Boundary Breakthrough Toolkit, and there's 4 fabulous, very effective tools in there for each one of the patterns to help you break free and just unstuck yourself. Is that a word? But that's what I'm going to say. It's going to unstuck. You're going to unstuck yourself. Yeah. Now, in our next episode, we're going to talk about fear. That fear of setting a boundary and getting punished for it, whether it's with a parent, a sibling, a friend, just something. And whether it is like backlash, silent, complete abandonment. So if you have ever gone silent to keep the peace, you're going to want to tune into that episode. So make sure you hit subscribe. That episode is coming soon, and I will see you there.